everyone, welcome to Caroline on the Hillside. It's week 42 of the Hillside Heart Prompts. I'm going to go right here. Use up the rest of these little pieces of scrap. And I'll do a shuffle. Very small shuffle. Hope everybody's enjoying your weekend. This week's prompts are lace, contributed by My Hillside Garden 3998, and Frida Kahlo, contributed by Lizzie Jean's Artistic Chaos. In my closet to find some Stampington magazines, I thought maybe there'd be some Frida photos there or pictures, and these were part of a collage that was done. So I took the faces off because I'm going to do my own. And the other thing that I found in a different Stampington was this is a collage, a card that has different stamps. So I'm going to cut those out. Probably going to decorate this part with it. I have some lace here. So what I'm going to do, since I have the faces, I'm going to do the background. I have these beautiful pink papers that I've been using. I'm going to cover the background here with that. And then I'll put this over to the side. I'll use Frida's face and then make a body out of lace, make a dress. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's the thought in my mind as I do this right now. So we'll see if that stays, but I'm going to cover this background with things I already have. And I thought of maybe I should just go to, go and Google her and then print something off. But I thought I wanted to take a few minutes to see if I had some kind of an image already in the magazine. And I thought that was a great, is that the same size? I'll just do it this way. So just using what I have, my motto, I can cover that, top it off. I'm getting very precarious here with my layers of pages. I actually took a few extra minutes because I know in one of my journals, and this is a couple years ago already, I had found in one of my decorating magazines, or I had come across a cushion, and it had Frida's face on it. So I was trying to see which, I can't think of which journal it is, and it's just going to take me too long to look through them. So because at first I thought maybe what I would do is I would find that image before I decided to go look further into my magazines, and I could draw it, but that's not going to be the case. And then on here, I'll use the other, maybe I'll use some of this to cover, maybe I'll do that right now. I could take this, cut it out and put it on the way it is, but that's somebody else's art. So I want to do my own, but I will use the images of Frida as my inspo. Just doing something very, very quick and very loose at the moment. I'll tighten everything up after as I go. This is over. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Give it a little bit of glue. instead of trimming that off. I could even keep this as a pocket. And then that way I can, I don't know, we'll see what happens here. I don't want to limit myself, although that's a lot of surfaces, and I only have a little bit of Frida. I don't have a lot of Frida right now. I think I'm going to use this one here, and so that'll be, I need to find a body now, which I need to find something that goes on this page, and of course everything's going to be out of perspective. I have this lady from my Paris magazine from the airport, and I was thinking she looked about the right size, so I was thinking I'll just trim that up. And she's got a white, well, she's a chef, so she's got her chef apron smock. Oh yeah, I don't really need to worry about her head because I'm going to be covering her up. Let's see if that'll work. We'll see. Actually, I'll take it off. I will look to, maybe I'll use one of these surfaces to give a little outline of who she is. I did not know who Frida Kahlo was until I started junk journaling. And then I started noticing different portraits of her. I would go shopping with my daughter, furniture stores, decorating, and I'd see images of her. I have this handy. I've kept it handy. I'll just cut this out. I think the size of this body will work really well for giving me space to add a dress, a skirt, and then I can doll this part up at the top. I thought it would give me a good base, a good starting point. And then I can put, oh yeah, look at that. A little bit of a dark shadow. I can put a little collar. I'm going to open this up a little bit here. Like that. And then she's leaning on something, so I'm going to the middle of the paper so that if I decide to put something behind, I have that available. And then on here, I'm going to, so I'll put that on top. And the same thing, I want to be able to lift. I think I'll just do the top part. I just want to have a, I need a reference point. Then what I can do is I can add her, the shadow under her chin's really dark. And then, okay, now she's leaning, this person here is leaning on something. I think it was a counter. So I have taken out this picture from my Free Southern Living magazine. And I was thinking maybe she could be leaning on the table. I don't know. Maybe the dog. The chair. I'm not sure here. I think what I'll do is I think I'll trim this right here. Right up. I mean, I have more magazines. I'm just using what's around me. Well, that'd be kind of good there, like that. So there's the pink paper already covered up, but that would be kind of fun. And then her dress will go over the top. I'm going to cut it up a little bit higher. Just hanging around a southern kitchen. Well, she is Mexican, so I'm just trying to see how she should be. I'll lift that up a little bit so that can tuck in. I like her leaning on this, and then I'll trim away what I don't need. The dress here and then something else. Okay, I like that. I think that'll work. By the time we're all done, these things aren't going anywhere. I'll leave her arm loose for now. That's really fun. I think I'm going to leave it with the pink. I do like that. Lift that up a little bit. And then I'll just put the part of the dog here and see how her skirt flows over. And then I can put some images of flowers or something there. I'm going to cut off the rest of this. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm still going to leave her hand the way it is. Now I have to build her skirt with lace. So I'm going to build, that'll be the lace portion, and then I'll doll that up a little bit too. I think I'm going to close this up and use it as a pocket. And I have, this is all extra pieces that I had put around this piece of paper. I'm going to do some building, some sewing. And I think, no, this is not lace. This is just going to be the base. We'll start with something like that. A little bit of satin. As you can see, she'll need a belt. I'm gonna go on top. No, I can't, her hand's there. So yeah, I'll probably put a belt. I took off too much. That's okay, it'll get used. Here's some lace. Some more. And I have other pieces of lace. This would be a really fun little trim there. The other thing, I did bring a piece of a dress that I've been trimming up. I can use some of that piece. I'm going to use the rest of this. Might as well use the whole thing. And I am going to sew this because otherwise I'll be using too much glue. Okay, that's fun. It's just going to be rough because I'm going to be tucking it under. I think that's going to work out. We shall find out. I'm never worried. It's just I'm always excited because I never know what it's going to look like. I need to put more. We need more layers right here. Definitely more layers. More lace. Here's some lace. Oh, here's a big piece of lace. Maybe something like that. Okay, let me get that out of there. Cinch that up a little bit. Still need more underneath it, behind it. And then when I put it on, I can rearrange. Well, I cut a few lengths of the lace that I chose, and I'm going to add them so they're all a little bit different. Just add them here, a little bit of layering. This part up here doesn't matter what it looks like because it's going to get glued underneath. And I will place it so that it's not all spread out like that. I don't want to cover little pup. And this may stay, may not stay. I could cut this little part off and just have the flower, so I won't take it off right now. I'll leave my option open. See what it looks like once I have it placed. And I have mentioned, I think a few times, that my mom used to sew my Barbie doll clothes, and my cousin's friends. She actually sold them at one point because there was a high demand when people would see what she was doing, and she did it all by hand. So this kind of reminds me of, and she had she did not use patterns. So this is going to be up high here, so that's a little elevated. That's okay. And this is just reminding me of that right now. I think that'll be enough lace, because if I get any thicker, I won't be able to glue it. I also brought a doily out, but I don't think I'm going to be, oh there, see that didn't stick. That's okay, I'll put it underneath. Or I'll put it, there's a lot of overhang, which I'll be able to trim that. And here we go. Whatever's hanging over can deal with that once it's all glued down. Just want that glued on for now. Making some progress. Had to wait for a second here just for this glue to dry. Thinking once again, hot glue would be really good. And this one here is not attached, that's right. So I'll have to put a little bead down here. I am leaving this apron on, part of the design. This little piece. Definitely going to have to trim some of this off because it's a little too long. While this is drying, I've cut out a piece of this applique and I'm going to put it over to the side, not making any scene there. And then I'm taking a little piece from the top and hoping I can make, that's way too much, but I want to make a little bit of a little belt here. I think I will leave it upside down. Well, there is no right side, but pointing downwards. Oh, I cut some of the threads. Some of my threads, that's okay. There, I like that one. And then this here can have a little bit of glue. That's her dress. I'm going to leave her top part. Oh yeah, I was going to do something with her neck. I have some liquid pearls. A little added touch. And then I'm going to glue. Still thinking about what to do over here on the pocket. The side's just going to be pink. This is the busy side. I think it's fun. Well, let's keep the lace going over here. Adding my scraps from what I've cut, and I'll just piece all these together. Little lacy patchwork. And I'll trim off the big excess, but I won't trim that part off. My pocket's going to have, I think I'm going to do a collage with the little postage like that, and it's called Postal, and it's small, so I'm going to do that. Covering up the piece, one of the pieces on there, a little tab. And now I have this image. She's leaning over, so, and I think I'm going to tuck it under here. I also have this beloved word that I trimmed off of a page. I'm going to put that down here. Well, if I come across more images of Frida Kahlo, I will cut them out and put them in my file. Going to go in here. Too bad. I really like the way it looks on the outside. So I'm going to continue the lace on this side. Let that dry. So these were stamps of Frida. And I'm going to rearrange these. I have this really random black piece of lace. I'm going to use that on this side. I'll still use these elements here. And I have this random piece of pink thread that was left over, so I'm going to use that. And then put the Frida right there. And I'm going to use my glue stick Yeah, that's pretty strong. That's holding nicely. And I have to think about something down here for a pocket or a holder. I didn't think of that. So while I'm putting this in, this could be my although I want to cover that up, and I can put another piece. Maybe this will be my holder. That would work. Tuck spot. And that'll stay in there. Number 42. Oh, week 42. This week's prompts are lace and Frida Kahlo. I did not know much about Frida until I did this. I looked on, I just looked online quickly to get some biography information. I found the images here, 2 different Stampington magazines, and I cut off the faces. This is the body of a different magazine, and I just cut that off. And I thought, well, I'll make her a skirt so that she can be on the full page. Found this in another magazine, my Southern Living, and the dog, and I added all kinds of lace, made her a necklace of liquid pearls, and then collaged some lace and her another image of her face here, and then this beloved. I thought that was fun. Her biography, and this is the really cool part about her skirt. She was a painter born 1907, died in 1954. Frida Kahlo was a Mexican artist who mostly painted self-portraits. She started painting after being impaled in a bus accident at the age of 18. Kahlo later became politically active and married fellow communist Diego Rivera. She's admired today as a feminist icon. She wore skirts to hide her leg deformities, which I had no idea because I just looked this up. And she's also she was friends with Pablo Picasso. And then I just put a note here saying that I made the skirt not knowing about her bus accident and her leg deformity. And so I used these little images as my tuck spot. And it's pretty simple. I think it's quite effective. I really enjoyed making this, learning about her. And now whenever I come across any images of Frida, I will cut them out because it's a great way to celebrate her life in our own art. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this inspired you. Look around your magazines. You never know what little images will come in handy and what you'll find. Stay adventurous and be cozy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.